Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. I'm here on by myself. Later in the video you might be seeing myself join with Skaden, but right now I wanted to cover a quick couple of items that were added here in the new snapshot this week of the week added here on September 16th in 15W38A. Now, some of this stuff I'm just not going to show and wait until we encounter it in game, but I'll just, of course, quickly mention it. There's a couple of other important bug fixes I wanted to mention as well. So the first thing that's kind of relevant is beets. I'm very excited because beets have now been fixed where we can start an auto farm and just farm them in general. You'll no longer lose seeds. You'll get the right amount of seeds. So very excited that that has since been fixed. They added a new statistic, times slept in a bed. So just for testing purposes, you can see it's 0 because it's just added, even though I've slept in beds many a times. I obviously won't be able to get in there because it's night. I'm very curious to see. I'm pretty sure it's not nights, like you have to completely go asleep. I think it's if you just lay down in a bed and get out, it counts it, I think, based on what I saw online or saw the videos of it. So of course I'll maybe test that out, but that's there. I remember when they did add these about being picked up and dropped last time. You can see they're actually like working properly now. It's kind of interesting how much coal I picked up. As far as blocks go, obviously cobblestone's what I pick up the most of. And iron ore. Look at all that iron ore I picked up. What else is impressive in here? The nether stuff, end stone. Speaking of which, I don't think they've added that stuff into the end yet. They got a lot of stuff they have to add. They still haven't added the crafting recipes or how you're going to make the poisoned arrows, the entity arrows. I'm really waiting for that. That's really what I want to see. And I totally forgot about the stuff they've added in the end now that we've been doing all this other stuff. The snapshots the last like 3 weeks or so, maybe even 4 weeks now, have been very minimal. They've added a couple things here and there that have been of particular interest, but really have not added anything that exciting. Let's see, I've died one time from a skeleton, Enderman 6 times, that's because we went at the end that one time, Guardian killed me 2 times, that's it, wow. That is definitely going to change some of the other stuff I'll mention here in a second, but so I'm a little upset that it's been kind of a slow ordeal here. As far as what's happening with the snapshots. They've really kind of slowed down, and they are doing a lot of bug fixes, but they're also making a lot of bugs and some of the couple weird features they're adding. But good to see that this is laying eggs and they're collecting that. So this is still working here in the spawn chunks. Of course, we'll have to see if the chickens will spawn from the refired eggs. As we know, they will grow. We're not sure if they will spawn. Okay, so back to the list. Otherwise, with bugs, stuff with hitboxes and pistons. There's a ton of bug fixes in this one. I'm not going to go through all of them. Villagers now, though, will farm the beetroot properly, and they'll pick up the beetroot. So they'll interact with the beetroot and beetroot seeds properly now. Oh, all the problems we had with the mobs, Skatem and I, with the mobs like seeing us through the building and like collecting at the corner, that was actually a bug, not a change in the AI. So that's been fixed. I'm not sure about the distance at which they see you and how they track you. I'm not sure if that's really been changed at all, but I will say that tracking you through the wall has been fixed. So it's no longer insanity when I'm like outside of my house and whatever. We still have to fix some stuff because they fixed the water AI and fixed some other stuff with them tracking better, but tracking through the walls has been fixed. Thank goodness, because that was a terrible bug. That bug, we're going into the void with F3 open. It's apparently if you go into the void or above the build height with F3 open, it crashes. They fixed that. So I guess I can go test my other thing real quick. Some stuff with banners and shields, more pistons. Pistons are actually not supposed to move obsidian. I did not know that. I did not know pistons could not move obsidian. So that was a bug, and they've put that back in. Vines were unplaceable. Multiplayer games. Banners not large mushrooms not generating correctly. Banners not running. Okay, there's that. That was all the bug stuff. They did some performance enhancements. They did some further improvements to some of the mobs. Let's actually test this bed thing first. So let's see. We were 0. Now, if we get out without fully sleeping, let's see if we are 1. Yes, we are 1. So it counts the climbing and laying down in the bed as something, which is kind of interesting. One thing I did not know about Minecraft, I did not know this was ever added or this was a thing. that apparently if you had a dog or a cat that was your pet in Minecraft and you named it with a name tag and then it died, it would show up in chat that your animal died. So you would know if your animal died. I think it would tell you by like what as well, like how it died. You know, just a normal death message. Question, I have to look this up. I don't know if you name any sort of animal or mob and that mob or animal dies, does it share the message or is that only with the pets? I think it's only with the pets because I've named mobs before and never seen that message. However, they've now changed it to where even if you haven't named it, so if you just have a pet cat or a pet dog and it dies, it will show up in cat as either kitty was killed by blah 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 or wolf was killed by blah blah blah. So you wouldn't know like which one if you have more than one or whatnot, but you'll at least know if you did have one going with you that it died. That is something new they've added in the Snapchat. You no longer have to name them, which is kind of cool. We haven't found any dogs yet, and of course have not found a jungle yet. The one thing we have not found, I don't believe, because we don't have jungle trees. I don't think we found that yet. Okay. Otherwise, with mobs, skeletons, they've updated their AI and made them really terrifying. So before, you know, I had this trouble over here. I was trying to get a skeleton to shoot a creeper, and it was really difficult because every time I got near, the creeper would always constantly walk towards me, but the skeleton would walk towards me until it got a certain distance away, stop, and then shoot. It would not walk and shoot at the same time, so I would have to get like far away from it so it couldn't shoot me, have it walk towards me, then get close enough for it to shoot me, all while making sure the creeper doesn't blow up. So it's challenging, but they've now made it that skeletons will do like a little strife. So as they can move around while they try and shoot you like this. You know, they'll do this, but a little bit quicker. And then, in addition, they will also move towards you as they fire at you if you're moving away from them to keep the distance to you. And then if you get far enough away, they may sprint and charge at you without firing. They'll put their bow down, they'll charge at you, then they'll stop and they'll fire, and then they'll go through their whole game again of moving around. So skeletons are difficult now because they will move while they fire, and that will become a pain in the butt. But I really like it that they're making the environment so much harder. Just watching the UHC that Sumavoid did, really entertaining because obviously they were playing an older version where there's still some problems and things not balanced out. But I will say that the environment, they're making it much more difficult again, just like how hard the environment was back in the early days of late beta, really not really late beta, but into the early versions of the actual Minecraft. They made it hard, like 1.2 again. UHC was just in my Seth Bling's group, and that was really entertaining as well because that was really difficult with the mobs and the environment. And interesting to see that they have now changed that again. So yeah, skeletons now move randomly when shooting, and they'll move away from melee attacks and charge you as well. Now, if you've ever played on my server Avius and you become a donator, one of the things you could get is either skeleton horse or a undead horse. So some people did not know that it was like a meta texture almost, like a horse with a flag, just like a mule is, or a donkey to the horse, and the different types of horse. There's a type of horse, there's an undead horse, it's basically a zombie horse, and then there's a skeleton horse. That's just like a skeleton. They have really cool textures. They've been in the game at least since like 1.7 or so. And those aren't actually, you can't get them in game. They don't spawn at all, and they have no purpose in the game until this snapshot. At least the undead horses no, but the skeleton horses now have a purpose. During a thunderstorm, if I understand this correctly, when lightning is striking, skeleton horses may spawn in the world during a thunderstorm. Now, if you get some of those skeletons horses will be spawned as an activated trap, which means some you can get up next to and nothing will happen. And I believe you can train them like normal horses. Now, if you get near the ones that have an activated trap, when you get within like 8 blocks or 10 blocks or so, it'll trigger the trap, and what will happen is it'll summon lightning. Lightning will strike that horse, and that horse will disappear, and 4 more skeleton horses. So 4 skeleton horses will come out of that one, and each of them will have a skeleton riding the skeleton horse, and the skeletons will have a Power 1 bow and Protection 1 helmet. Wow. You will have 4 skeletons on horses with power bows all of a sudden within a split second in front of you to attack you. Very difficult because unlike before where mobs are on top like a spider jockey where the spider just walks around randomly and then the skeleton follows and it's really not a problem until the spider gets next to you or sees you and tracks you, then the skeleton just comes after you as well because it gets dragged along with the spider. But like, much like with when a zombie gets, or a baby zombie gets on a chicken, it can control the chicken and like drive it around like where it wants to go. That basically happens with the horses. The skeletons, for the most part, basically can ride the horses and go after you and shoot you, and it's really kind of crazy and difficult. And I'm sure Skatem and I will encounter those at some point. I'm not going to spawn them in because I wanted to actually like wait until we see that. So that is everything that we know of that has been added here in the snapshot, and it's been about 12 hours now since the snapshot was out. So we know we've basically found everything, and that's it. There's probably going to be I hope there's kind of a bug fix one, because there's still some bugs that need to be fixed. Minecraft took a long time to load up. Everything was just a little slow loading up. But I hope we get that to load up. And yeah, I talked way longer than I thought. Let's actually go test going into the void again and seeing if the void is a biome. If this world's not corrupted after that crash. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it spawned me back up here. Okay. Well, we're going to go down again. I just wanted to see if the void was a biome. Or if, obviously it is a biome, but if it's a biome that's in the worlds now. No, it just says, that's interesting. It says outside of world. Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting to know. It doesn't, it's so that biome is obviously just something specific that gets generated in that specific version. I guess we could go above the build height as well. It just says outside of this world, probably 2. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, I wonder if they've added the end stuff. I haven't heard anything from anybody. I have to go on the wiki and catch up and make sure I'm not missing anything from some of the past couple snapshots. The last 3 weeks have been really crazy now that school's in session again. So it's 250, I believe, is the set build height on a normal world. Remember when it was just like the tops of the hills? Yeah, outside of world. Remember that when it would just be like the tops of the hills? I don't know, whatever the clouds were at. It would be like here, like 100 or something. You would get to the top of a mountain in like beta Minecraft and try and build a house, and you couldn't, which is kind of cool. It wasn't cool actually at all. It's kind of terrible. They have not put a way to respawn the dragon in by crafting the beacons, but Skatem and I will probably do that. We'll use the method they put in the snapshot by building the creeper face to respawn the dragon, so that you can see that the beacons in the jail, the shells, will all regenerate around in a circle. We'll probably do that. Have it all regenerate and fight it again. Now that it hasn't really there hasn't really been any big changes since we did it, but there was could be a couple tweaks in that. So, alrighty. I don't think this is enough for a full episode, but I might upload it as that, because it has been like 10 minutes just to give you guys a little bit more Minecraft until I record more this weekend. But if I record more with Skatem, there'll be some footage after that. If not, actually no, I'm just gonna upload this as a whole video here. So. A quick little update just to give you guys some Minecraft so you guys don't have to wait till like next week when I get more footage in case it's a busy weekend. Because we do have a home game, 8 p.m. Penn State versus Rutgers. I'll be working that, and I'm excited for a full day of tailgating and then working that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall talk to you guys later. Is anyone on Avius? Mom 12's on Avius. This is what happens when the owner leaves their server. You can see Axe Bites on his server, but too busy for that. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to check out some more Minecraft, why not check out my Sky Factory 2 Let's Play with Zerthig and Necker by clicking here in the top left. If you'd like to see something else, you can check out my Eidolon Let's Play that I'll be finishing this summer by clicking here in the top right. You can follow me on Twitter down below, and then if you'd like what you've seen so far and you have yet to subscribe, click the big banner below.